Welcome to JGTCR. I'm Cope, and today we are tuning the Ford GT LM race car Spec 2. Let's get into it. In factory trim, this GT has quite a bit of grunt and it is fast, but getting that power to the ground can be a tedious task that tests our patience considerably. The handling is fairly good and it is mostly grounded, but the tail kicking does get old very fast. The steering feels firm and stable until the suspension is destabilized. When this happens, it becomes a bit understeerish or a lot oversteerish. The power is raw brute force with plenty of torque and push power. The power delivery is good at speed, although it still does like to kick the tail end, so use caution. While in the lower gears and lower RPM, it is far too aggressive for its own good. The first 3 gears need a good management system, and the last few gears need some occasional feathering. So get ready to master throttle modulation because we are sure to need it when driving this GT. The brakes are good and slow us down well while being solid and stable, although it can get a touch understeerish if we abuse them. Let's collect our time. 6 minutes 31.9 seconds. And now, the race tune. This GT feels much more stable and grounded through turns after modification and tuning. It is easier to get power down to the ground and control, but it still has a nasty bite to it if we don't remain vigilant on inputs. The handling is all round better equipped for racing. There is less ambivalence when responding to our inputs and commands. The steering is great 90% of the time, but it shows some weakness in the form of understeer when the rear hooks and we tear out of turns. The power is aggressive in higher RPM in the first 3 gears, so it should be modulated and feathered to get the best out of this GT. Additionally, the top gears also have a mild chance of wheel spinning at high RPM. This should also be a consideration when pushing hard on long sweepers. The power delivery has been nerfed about 70% via the gear ratios, but it can still snap the tail end, so use caution as when it starts spinning, it gets nasty real quick. The brakes are awesome. They are now more capable of doing what we ask when we ask it. And trail braking is quite decent, so use it to your advantage to gain those extra splits. Let's collect our time. 6 minutes 9.4 seconds. And now the drift tune. We get a completely unruly drive from this GT while trying to drift. It just does not want to comply and forces us to use extremely unorthodox methods just to get a basic slide from it. The handling is now somewhat reasonable, but it still has many pitfalls. The steering is acceptable but on the lazy side. This is due to tuning for the insolent tail end. The power uses the low charger as high is too aggressive coming on full song. The power delivery is still too aggressive and not nice, but we have to use what we have. When drifting, we should try and stay below 6,500 RPM to avoid harsh tail kicks and spinning out. This Ford GT just doesn't like drifting, and while it may improve with some time in the tuning, it just doesn't cut the mustard. And that's all we have for you today, so until next time, keep racing!